the chosen one. Have you ever felt anything inside yourself that you couldn't explain? Not only a gift or ability, but a force? A calm, deep river flows beneath the surface of your existence. Something magnificent but veiled. There's a term for it in the spirit. I call it blue power. This is not a fantasy. It's not some new age nonsense. This is a true divine energy that God has implanted inside his chosen ones. A force so old, holy, and profound. Most individuals never use it. But you, if you are hearing this, God has already marked you. It's now up to you to unleash that power. Because the world requires it. Because your soul is prepared and heaven is beckoning. And because God is sick of seeing his chosen living under their control. So sit back, take a big breath, and listen with your soul rather than your hearing. Let's go deeply into the mystery of the blue power and why it's time to use it. Let us begin here. What is blue power in the real world? Blue symbolizes tranquility, clarity, and wisdom. But in the spiritual realm, the color blue symbolizes divine revelation, celestial power, and spiritual justice. Think about the sky, the sea, high priest garment. Think about sapphire. Ezekiel's vision describes the stone of God's throne. Consider Jesus transfigured in dazzling brightness, his clothing gleaming white and blue like lightning. Blue is more than simply a color. It is a signal. It's the vibration of heaven's voice inside you. The blue power represents the chosen one's latent authority. It takes heavenly bravery to walk with purpose while the world attempts to obliterate your identity. It takes divine clarity to see what others miss. It is the anointing to bring order to chaos, not via control, but through presence. It is why individuals feel calm when they enter a room. This is why you carry it inside. Others can't explain. It's why the adversary has worked so hard to suppress you. Your strength stems from your divine essence. And the blue force represents your spiritual fingerprint, the chosen one. This message is not for everyone. This power isn't granted to everyone. Maybe you've always felt that you were carrying something that others couldn't see, explain, or comprehend. Allow me to assist you identify what your spirit has always understood. You see, blue power does not appear with flashing lights or applause. It's modest, unassuming, and concealed, yet unmistakable. Heaven has never overlooked you, even if the rest of the world does. So let's talk about the science. The precious proof that you've been carrying this power all along. These indications will not only confirm what you believed, they will give you greater faith in who God says you are. Something about you never seemed to fit. Perhaps you attempted to be like everyone else. You followed the trends. You played the part. You joined the crowd because you wanted to fit in. But no matter how hard you tried, something deep inside you always whispered, "This is not who I am." You may have been the silent one, the deeper one, the one with aged eyes that appear to see through everything. This was never a defect. It was evidence that God had set you aside. This is not to isolate you, but to prepare you, because only the set apart can transmit the set apart component of electricity. God reserved for his chosen ones. You can perceive things long before they happen. You can sense people's energy even when they don't say anything. You can go into a room and sense the vibe. You may have previously questioned this skill, calling it intuition or chance. But it is more than that. It is discernment. It is part of the blue power. God implanted a divine radar inside you to help you navigate the spiritual realm. You can sense when someone isn't being sincere. You know when something is going to change. Even if you can't describe how this knowledge has kept you safe, it has also separated you since others do not always grasp what you perceive. But you weren't supposed to explain your gift to everyone. You were intended to walk in it and believe that heaven validates what others cannot understand. Have you noticed that people often seek your advice? How do strangers open up to you unexpectedly? Even in quiet, people turn to you for direction. That is not random. You carry weight in your soul, and blue power has the ability to command a room. You do not want attention until you speak. However, when you talk, people listen. You don't attempt to lead. But when you move, others follow. This is because God's presence lies on you like a cloak. Even if you don't feel it, others can. You're what the Bible refers to as a thermostat, not a thermometer. You alter the atmosphere. That's the blue power in action, chosen one. Your emotional depth is not a weakness. It is an indication of your spiritual potential. You've always felt things on a deeper level. Other people's grief, the beauty of simple things, the pang of treachery, the anguish of injustice. You may have been labeled as overly sensitive or too passionate, but God designed you that way for a reason. Because the blue strength necessitates a heart that feels. It is expressed via empathy, compassion, and enthusiasm. And because you possess this depth, you may offer healing without even trying. People feel secure around you. Your presence is like spiritual salve to broken spirits. That is not normal. That's divine. Let's get genuine. Your life has not been easy. The agony you've been through, the loneliness you've felt, the endless cycles of betrayal, delay, and misunderstanding. It was not poor luck. It was strategic warfare, because the adversary is always attacking what threatens his empire. If you've ever wondered why it feels like darkness follows you around, even when you're trying to do the right thing, it's because the blue power inside you makes you appear dangerous. Before you knew who you were. How'd it go? And it attempted to break you before you learned your true identity. But here is the reality. If you survived the storm, you were not vanquished. You were purified because you attacked the adversary with it. You merely proved how powerful you truly are. Have you ever experienced a dream that seemed more real than reality? Have you ever seen symbols, colors, or people in the spirit and then understood they were prophetic? Have you ever felt drawn to places, persons, or prayers that made no natural sense, but subsequently turned out to be divine? That's how blue power communicates. It refers to dreams, visions, nudges, and murmurs. You may have disregarded them earlier, but now is the moment to pay heed. Because you're not just living life. You are walking in accordance with divine instructions. God has been trying to grab your attention, and now that you are aware of the gift, you will be able to hear him more clearly than before. When you possess the blue power, your spirit is vulnerable to deception and corruption. You cannot disregard wrongdoing. Even if it is simpler to remain silent, you cannot just accept systems that damage others or deprive individuals of their dignity. Your soul aches to express the truth, that fire within you. That is not rage. That is righteous conviction. You were intended to be a light in dark areas, a truth teller in muddled civilizations, a disruptor of harmful cycles. You cannot unsee what you see because you were not designed to look away. You were created to stand in the gap as a messenger of divine justice. Maybe you botched up. Perhaps you have wandered. Perhaps you have even questioned your religion at times. But you keep coming back. That's not an accident. The blue power repeatedly calls you home. Because no matter how far you go, God's hand will never leave his chosen. And even in your lowest times, you are his. And he still intends to utilize you. Because the blue power is not about perfection. It is about being available. And you, the chosen one, are still standing. That indicates it is not over. It indicates that your finest days are yet ahead. There is a restlessness within you, a spiritual dissatisfaction. You've experienced prosperity, love, and moments of tranquility. But something within you yearns for more. No more money. No more celebrity, no more validation, more depth, more meaning, more God. That hunger, The ghost is looking. This is God's reminder to you. There is more to your life than you have realized. And the blue power you possess will only be completely activated when you stop chasing the world and instead pursue the fire within. Let's be honest. Among all the things you might be watching right now, you're listening to this message. That is not random. That is a divine appointment. Something in you recognizes what you're hearing. Even if your head has questions, your soul understands. It's like if a memory is awoken. You're not just learning something new. You are recalling something eternal. Something that was imprinted in your soul before you even came on this planet. That is the most significant indicator of all. The chosen one. These signals are more than merely attributes. They are clues. Clues pointing to a destiny far larger than the life you've led thus far. Signs that God has been walking beside you, molding, strengthening, and preserving you for this moment. This is not exaggeration. This is heaven, revealing what was previously concealed. The blue power is genuine. You have been carrying it, and now that you've seen the indications, there's no turning back. It's time to take a walk in it. You may wonder, if I possess this blue power, why hasn't God revealed it completely yet? Because heaven operates according to divine time. You are being prepped in the dark, like Moses in the desert, like David in the fields, like Jesus in the desert. God has the authority not to punish you, but to protect you. He was shaping your personality to reflect your calling. Because if you had walked in this power before your soul was ready, you would have utilized it from the body rather than the spirit. Power without maturity is hazardous. So, the delay was heavenly. And now, the curtain is lifting. You are hearing this because the season has changed. The womb of preparation is opening, and heaven declares the hour. Don't be duped. There is a battle for your identity. The opponent does not care about your money. He is not threatened by your job, following, or social media presence. He wants your power, your heavenly clarity and capacity to communicate truth. Your gift is to bring light, where there is perplexity. That's why he targets your speech, thinking, and relaxation. He causes diversions, delays, and despair. Because if you ever realize who you truly are, you will move in a way that shakes hell itself. The blue strength is spiritual. It cannot be purchased. It can't be learned. It must be unlocked. That unlocking begins with awareness. When you see yourself as God sees you, the power starts to flow. So the enemy creates falsehoods in your head, walls of dread, shame, guilt, and uncertainty. But God is pulling them down, and you can feel it, right? Even now, the chains are dropping. The fog is lifting, because heaven has determined there will be no more delays. Let me teach you how to awaken what has been asleep. It begins with quiet. You don't need to force it. You do not need to earn it. You must identify with it. Here is how. Begin with quiet. Go to a calm area. Block out the noise. Allow your soul to breathe. Ask God, show me what you have hidden inside me. Speak freely. Life and death exist in the town. Declare that the blue force of God is swelling inside me. I hold heaven's clarity. I walk with heavenly power. Walk with bravery. Begin saying yes to the things you have been avoiding. Conversations, dreams, and transformations. Blue electricity flows. Where trust leads. Release the past. You cannot bear almighty strength and ancient grief in the same vessel. Let it go. Forgive. Bless. Move onward. Stay close to the source. Boo. Power does not come from bustle. It comes from heaven. Keep your heart in the Word. Allow the Spirit to guide. Finally, remember who you are. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're not too late. You were picked, and selected ones carry the kingdom. When you start walking with your blue power, doors open without a knock. People are sketched with no reason. Strategies flow easily. It isn't magic. It's an alignment. Your inner world will stabilize. Your emotions will no longer interfere with your ability to think clearly. Your words will hold weight in the spirit. You'll start to alter rooms just by being present. And most significantly, you'll feel more like yourself. Not the one you execute to survive, but the version established by heaven before the earth was. That is the true purpose of this journey, to become the authentic self. God created a dazzling, clear, and strong soul before life became noisy. There are no coincidences in the spirit. If you've made it this far, you should hear this. Not your ears, but your spirit. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not someday, when everything seems wonderful. Not once you've found everything out. Now, right now, in the calm of the moment. Heaven is beckoning your name. God has been talking to your spirit, tugging on your heart, and guiding your movements. Even if you couldn't see the entire image, you didn't merely come across this message. This was divinely timed because your season of waiting for your season of hiding has ended. Your season of spiritual struggle without insight has ended. The veil is lifting, and the Lord's voice proclaims, "My child, the power I placed in you is ready to rise. Stop doubting what I have already confirmed. You are my chosen one, walking it." We often wait for permission from others, systems, or our own past. When God calls you, no one else has to validate you. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. You are proof that God continues to move, that He continues to appoint and anoint, that He still raises up the unlikely, the quiet, the rejected, the broken and bruised, and that He continues to breathe. Transform your purpose into dry bones. And now your life is a message to the world. God is still choosing. You have been through enough. You have been refined by fire. You have endured pain in silence. You have questioned your worth. You have cried out, "Is there anything else you have for me, God?" And today He says, "Yes, there is more. There always was. And now it is time." Let's not sugarcoat this. Walking through this blue power will stretch you. It will necessitate boldness. It will ask you to abandon your old ways of thinking and stop shrinking for the sake of others. Stop pretending to be less than who you are, because heaven did not put you here to blend in. He sent you to shine, and the light within you is not intended only for you. It is for those who are linked to your calling. They are waiting for your voice, clarity, leadership, and healing. The chosen one. This is your activation. This is where the old ceases and the heavenly starts. Let this be your spiritual proclamation. I will not waste what God has given me. I will not remain silent when God calls me to speak. I will not dull my light to make others comfortable. I'll rise. I shall take a step forward. I shall walk in the totality of the blue power within me. Because I was picked for this specific time. Allow the world to misinterpret you. Allow others to question you. Allow the opposition to try to rattle you. Nothing matters because God has marked you. And once heaven has marked you, no one can unmake you. You're not the same person you were before. You're not where you used to be. And you will not revert to the version of yourself that was little and silent. That version was buried. This is a resurrection. This is fire. This is identity. This is a celestial awakening. Breathe deeply. Stand up and march forth with the assurance of a soul supported by the authority of heaven. Because the time to hide is done. The time for waiting is past. It is time to activate. You were picked. You possess blue power. And now it's time to put to use since this message spoke to you deeply. And if you feel led after seeing this video, you can support the channel by clicking the link in its bio. Even your $1 is valuable to me in this channel. Your kindness allows us to continue sharing light and love. God bless you.